this is going to be a sweet little chordal arrangement on bass, similar to something you might hear like Zach from Pinback play or something like that. But it's really cool, I think, to start using some chords in your bass lines. They're really fun, kind of opens it up, you know, and they just sound so good, you know. They're not for guitar players, not for just guitar players anymore. Try that again. All right, it's going to be a little chordal arrangement for the bass, so you can start incorporating more chords into your playing, you know, and experimenting with playing chords. They're not just for guitar players, you know. Bass players can play chords too, and they sound really awesome on bass, really melodic and really nice and fun. I'm not going to do too much of like a whole theory lesson or anything like that. There's reasons why these chords sound good together, but let's just play some chords and have some fun with it. All right, so if you haven't clicked on the link right down there in the YouTube text box, one of those links is going to bring you to some lessons that aren't on YouTube at all. You can only get it by clicking that link right down there. There's a beginner lesson, a intermediate lesson, advanced lesson, so somebody for everybody. So if you haven't clicked on that, click on that. Also down there, there is a link that'll send you over to my Epic Beginner Bass DVD set that I'm really excited about. That's all complete. It's up there. It's good. So if you're very much a beginner on the bass, you're going to love it. If you've been playing for a while, there's some great stuff in there for you too. So definitely check those out. All right, so this is really fun. I think that once you start incorporating more chords into your bass playing, you're going to start experimenting, and it's just like, honestly, like the sky's the limit. There's so much variety. It's like an adventure that you're going on, right? But like I said, I'm not going to talk too much about theory. Let's just go right into it and start playing some chords. So what I'm doing right here is I'm actually on the 5th fret of the A string. At the same time, I'm hitting on the 5th fret of the A string and 4th fret of the D string. And all I'm doing with that, I'm just plucking with my thumb on the A string and my pointer finger on the D string. Just like that. It's very simple. So you just keep these both pressed down and pluck both of them. One after the other. But see, I'm not going just like that to make a chord. Now, another thing that I'm doing, whenever I play that chord, you might notice my thumb is flipping around. Well, what that's doing is it's muting out that E string, so the E string doesn't buzz and contaminate the note. I only want these two notes to be audible. So I'm playing those two. My finger, actually, believe it or not, when I wrap it around here, and if you don't want to do this at first, that's fine. Your hands will just automatically do this eventually. But my finger, as it wraps around, this pointer finger here, on my left hand, when it wraps around to hit that 4th fret of the D string, it's actually touching the G string. So that's muting that and making sure that that doesn't ring out either. So I got my thumb covering this string up here, the E string, and I got my finger here covering that. So all you could possibly hear are those two. But again, that's might be more advanced than you want to start with. You might just want to start playing some chords. So anyway, but you can mute them out real easy. So you got those two. And I'm also, after I hit these two, right, I'm hitting a ghost note. My thumb is actually plucking this E note, but my thumb here is over it, so you're not hearing the note. You're just hearing a little rhythmic tap kind of thing. See? So you got, then you go into the next part. And you could play this with different fingers. I tend to play these with, I got my 5th fret, my pointer on the 5th fret of the E string, and on the 6th fret all the way up, you're skipping these middle two strings, all the way up on the G string, right here, got my pinky. See, when I'm going over that, when I make this chord, my thumb is muting that out. Whoops. And it's nice when you use, again, I'm using my pointer finger and my pinky. A lot of times you use your pointer and your pinky when you're doing pop and slap and pop stuff, because it's nice to have these other fingers around just to mute everything else out. So it doesn't sound like a cacophony of different strings buzzing all over the place and messing everything up. So what I'm doing there is, instead of hitting these 1, 2 like that, I'm hitting them both at the same time. I'm just kind of pinching them with my thumb and my index finger. Just like that. So you got... just like that. So, and again, the other strings here are kind of getting muted out by my pointer finger. My pointer finger is actually, see when I press on that? My pointer finger is not, it's not like I'm barring this. It's not depressing down on these. It's just touching them just so they don't ring out. So all you can possibly hear is that E string and the G string. It's like I talk about my bass DVD, my instructional DVD. Muting is really so important to bass. It's just as important as the notes that you're playing. Because if you don't mute and everything's all, you know, buzzing all over the place, it's not going to sound good. You'll never sound professional. Just like that. See, it sounds very sweet. So you got... So the next chord is similar to this one. It's a more minor chord right here. You're going to be hitting the 7th fret of the E string, right? We were on the 5th. You're going to be up on the 7th fret and the 7th fret of the E string and of the G string. And again, I use my, you know, you're in this position right here. So you just kind of slide your fingers up, whoop, just like that. This one's going a whole step and this one's going a half step. Just like that. And you're both, like I said, pointer finger and pinky. So far we have... Go right back down to the chord that I just showed you. And you're just going to move this entire formation of your fingers, this pattern, down. So you got... Move it down a whole step or 2 frets. So you got... Right? And then the only other chord... Only other chord is, I kind of barred this here just because it's easy for me to get my fingers back over here. But you could play this like this if you want to, like I showed you. But you're just basically playing that 2nd fret of the E string and 2nd fret of the G string. Very simple. So these are very simple, very nice melodic chords. And you'll see, you know, you'll start experimenting with chords and you'll start to realize that it actually sounds really nice on bass to have a really low note mixed with a really high note. You know, you could make this same chord right here. Really all this is a 1st and a 3rd. They would, you know, music theory, that's what they would call this right here. It's a root and a 3rd. You could play the same thing just like this. And that might be good for your purposes at some point, but it doesn't sound as beautiful as that right there. See, these are octaves, so I could play it like this, where I'm playing these notes, and now what I'm just doing, I'm just transposing this note to here. So you're actually playing the same note, just a different pitch. You know, but you'll start to do chord inversions and all different kinds of stuff once you start to have fun with chords. And anyway, if you like Pinback and you he might play it a little bit more like that. Zach from Pinback is actually a very, very under-recognized bass player. Really, I think he's one of the best ever. He's just so fantastic, this guy. But playing in the style of him, you could sort of like slap the first 2 chords instead of just plucking them like this. Right? You can hit it with your thumb and then pluck, right? And then kind of slap that ghost note, right? And then when you get here, see what I did there? I actually slapped that with my thumb, and I strummed. He does a lot of strumming, so now when I'm strumming, it's kind of an interesting sound, and this happens a lot with his playing, because the only thing that's actually the notes they're playing are these 2 notes, but I'm strumming over the middle as well, the middle 2 strings. So it just gives that sort of a grainier, maybe a little bit dirtier sort of sound. Because you can hear that as well. All right, hope you enjoyed that, yo. Don't forget, you could always subscribe to Finbar Bass. That's my my YouTube channel, and then you'll know when all these are going to come out, all these videos and all tutorials, whatever, are going to be coming out. You'll be on top of that. Also, don't forget, click down there if you want to get my Epic Beginner Bass DVDs. It'll send you right on over to Amazon. You can check out the reviews if you want. And click down there as well for something else that I can't remember. And you got those lessons. Don't forget about those either. Anyway, have fun with that one, yo.